Got a wall around my feelings, built strong like a fortress. Lost inside a maze, emotions in deep storage. Careful when I step, trust is fragile and thin. Words they cut so easily, then they're gone like the wind.
People play the game, say they'll be there and vanish. Promises like shadows in the daylight, they vanish. Guarded heart, I move in silence, whispers in the dark. Can't let them see me slipping, gotta always stay on guard. Guarded heart, I got emotions that they'll never see. Protective armor on this soul that's always watching me. Trust is delicate, a thread I'm holding close and tight. Living in the shadows, always careful with my secrets in my eyes, mysteries behind my gaze. People think they know me, but they're lost within the haze. Invisible scars from the lies and broken phrases. Walking through the fire, I emerge from the blazes. Truth and lies, they mingle, dancing like it's fate. So I guard my soul and never second guess my gate. Trust is rare and precious, like a diamond in the rough. In a world of masks and mirrors, gotta stay tough. Guarded heart, I got emotions that they'll never see. Protective armor on this soul that's always watching me. Trust is delicate, a thread I'm holding close and tight. Living in the shadows, always careful with my light.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to another, yes, another one. Another Thursday night episode of Software Explorations, hosted by yours truly, Tech Coach Ralph, where we are engineered to win, or as some people might say, I annoy you to success.
Bruh.
I'll take it. Whatever it takes for me to help you be successful, whatever it takes for me to add value into your life, I am with it. I am willing to do it. Welcome. How is everyone doing today? Hopefully everyone is doing well. Shout out to Victor Williams Jr., my dog. What's up? Haven't spoken to you in a while. So happy to see you. Keep on working hard, my guy. All right. So tonight we are going to be jumping more into our ethical hacking. We have been building out this port scanner for over the past few weeks. We have it working as expected. However, a couple of weeks ago, I said, you know what? We need a better way to test instead of always manually running it over and over and over. We need to build some unit tests. So we're going to be working on that today. Last week we got it working the right way, but we want to build our unit test in case we want to enhance on it, or when I push it up to GitHub, someone wants to pull it in. So what we're going to be doing today, maybe next week, depending on how far we get, we're going to be building unit tests. What we have done, so this is what we've done so far. This is what we've done so far, right? We built out this port scanner in Python using the socket module. We have, so we're able to do it with a single IP address, a range of IP addresses, multiple individual IP addresses separated by comma. The same thing for ports, a single port, a range of ports, multiple individual ports separated by comma. So we've built all of that out, right? We tried to do the testing, but we ran into some complications around the input. So today the goal is write some unit tests for the application. Why we're going to talk about why testing it is important, and we're going to see, can we mock this port scanning thing? So that's going to be between today. If we don't get done today, we probably won't. We're going to take that into next Thursday night as well, so that, because testing is a very, very, very important part of this whole thing. All right, so give me a second here. Let's light all turn. All right, cool. So that is the plan for today. But before we get into that, we got to take care of some housekeeping real quick. So first and foremost, I got to say a big, big, big shout out, a big, big thank you to all of the subscribers to the channel, those who are brand new to the page, those who have been with me for a very, very long time, those who watch from the clouds, and those who are very, very active in the chat and in the comments. I appreciate every single last one of you for allowing me to add value into your life. I truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart.
I appreciate you.
And I got to give a big, big shout out to all the Tech Coach Ralph Patreon members. Shout out to you all, my tech barbarians that I work with one-on-one, my tech prodigy members that I work with one-on-one, my technical explorers who support the work, and they get insight in game. I just uploaded today part one of the walkthrough, the federal employment walkthrough that Magnetar gave us. All of that good stuff happening in the Patreon. We are the best. We are the best.
We the best.
And shout out to my tech mercenaries. Those are the YouTube channel members who support this channel day in and day out. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
A quick announcement for the YouTube members. So I found a way that I am able to also link the YouTube membership to the Discord. So I'm gonna make a video about how to do it. I'm gonna make it members only, so the people who are members, they can actually see how to do it. I already have that video made on the Patreon side, but I'm gonna make it for YouTube, so that I'm making it on YouTube so that the YouTube members can also join the Discord, and they can join the conversation. They can join the events that are happening in the Discord, all that good stuff. So whether you are a Patreon member or a YouTube member, you can join the Tech Coach Ralph Discord. We have meetings and meetups, and so we do a lot of good stuff in there, so you can partake in there and enjoy all that good stuff. All right, so I will make a video for that. Basically, you just need to link your YouTube account to your Discord account, and then you will be teleported right into the Tech Coach Ralph Discord, and we can have the conversation there. Right, so anyone who is a YouTube member of this channel, as well as a Patreon member, they can join the Tech Coach Ralph Discord, and we can have a great time, learn a lot together, all that good stuff. All right, so just wanted to make that announcement. I'm going to be making a video for that. Real quick, what's coming up next? Tomorrow we're going to be premiering the Bug Bite. We're going to be talking about a major education cybersecurity leak. Yes, a major education cybersecurity leak. They probably have your data already.
Bruh.
Sunday, we're going to be working on software explorations. We're going to continue working on Kubernetes. We're going to continue working on our secrets. We made a lot of progress last Sunday. Looking forward to wrapping it up maybe this Sunday, maybe the following Sunday. We'll see how it goes, but we made a lot of progress, so I'm very, very excited about that. Yeah, so that is about it. Tonight, we're going to be working on our port scanner, of course, but we're also going to be talking about a few topics. We're going to be talking about somewhat of I guess I would say a meeting I just had about maybe an hour and a half ago. We're going to be talking about Amazon Q. If you guys remember, we did a lot of work around Amazon Q. Was it 2023? Maybe 2023, 2020. Was it 2023? No. What year is this? We're in 2025. It was in 2024. Yeah, we did a lot of work around Amazon Q in 2024. Might have been 2023 actually. I think it was actually 2023. Yes, it was 2023. Last year was Amazon App Studio. 2023 was Amazon Q. That was November of 2023. When I found out about it, we tried to set it up. Very interesting things. We're going to be talking about that tonight. We're going to be talking about an article, why whoever wrote the article, stopped using AI for coding. And then we're going to share some final thoughts. I have a final thought about Rod Brown's betrayal. Yes, Rod Brown's betrayal. And I'm going to finish up with that. And then we're going to talk about what we're going to remind you guys of the bug bites. So a lot of things happening today. We're in for it today. So let me go and check the chat, and then we will get to our icebreaker, get to work, and have a great show tonight. All right. So let me see who is in the building. We got my guy Victor Williams Jr. in the building. What's good, Victor Williams Jr.? So happy to see you. I really appreciate you. You know what, Victor Williams Jr., you are one of my first YouTube members, and you are still here, and I truly appreciate. I'm gonna clap it up for you. Really appreciate you, Victor. We got my guy Magnetar in the building. Says, did somebody say federal? I'm telling you, whenever you say federal, you see Magnetar is right there and present. I'm telling you, he has like a federal scanner. Like every time the word federal comes up, he is all up in there. And Magnetar says, Gov for life. Okay. Oops, my bad. Wrong sound. I meant this one, Magnetar. I meant this one. Magnetar says, Sith Coach Ralph.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
We got B Peace in the building. Hello, B Peace. How are you doing today? Hopefully you are having a phenomenal day. And we got my guy Wave Nerd in the building. What's up, Wave Nerd? Hopefully you are having a great day as well.
Let's get it.
All right. So let me jump into this little icebreaker really quick, right? So, and then icebreaker, check the chat one more time, and then we will get to our first segment of we're going to be working on testing, right? Unit testing through code, right? So icebreaker real quick. Those who endure till the end. So those who endure till the end, they will win. Whatever winning is in that scenario, they will win. So why am I talking about this, right? So I had a meeting. I will disclose. I was meeting with Wave Nerd earlier today, and we were having a conversation about some different ideas, some different things that we're going to be looking into working on and stuff like that. And Wave Nerd said something very interesting to me, right? He said this. It's like, I don't want to be the only person doing this, you know. And if you have anybody who you see that they are capable, qualified, dedicated, to bring them along and you know be successful, learn, you know. And I had to think back through my mental Rolodex of all the people that I gave opportunities to, all the people who embraced those opportunities, all those people who worked really hard, didn't fight, didn't complain, all of that stuff, right? And I could only think of one person. I said, and that, like, I had already reached out to that person. I said, look, I'm meeting about so and so. I'll fill you in on the details as I get them, but but based on your work ethic over the past year and a half, I know you have Like I want you with me, right? I want you with me. But there's been so many people that given opportunities, and I've talked about it before, like they squander those opportunities left and right. And it's so disheartening to see. And I'm like, people are so ready to quit at the slightest bit of adversity, right? I think the video that I released, or I think it was the one that I released earlier today, about you win some, you lose some. And for me, I never really think about, like, it's always about like the next destination, the next destination, the next destination. So I'll go into a little bit of context, right? At the end of last year, I said, you know what? These AI is getting so much more popular. How, I remember I started learning about machine learning a couple of years ago, and then I'm using AI to generate a lot of the stuff that I'm doing. AI is my assistant from meeting that I go to. Um, I'm using it to get some outlines for presentations. I'm using it like in a manual way to create my video metadata, a bunch of stuff, right? And to the shorts that I put on this channel is going through an AI tool, so many different things. And I was like, you know what? I need to get a much better understanding of this. I need to understand how to integrate into these APIs and stuff like that. So I went on this journey. I went on this quest at the beginning of the year, just so I can get a better understanding. See what I can make of this, right? And now, less than 6 months later, I'm having conversations about how we can utilize AI into all types of different things. I'm not going to give too many details because that is proprietary information. But going into so many different opportunities that are made available just by enduring to the end, just by doing the work. And I'm on week 2, day 2 of this course, but I've been taking it very slow, making sure that I'm understanding, making sure I'm trying, and in the process building my own tools that helps me optimize my workflow as well. So it's all to say that, like, there are so many different opportunities out there that are right in front of us, that are waiting for us, that, like, people are looking to try to bring us along, but we are our biggest barrier. We stand in our own way all the time, and it's really unfortunate because there's so many things that we can do, but I don't know if it's that we are either scared or that we're just too comfortable, or we want that, whatever that work life balance thing that people talk about is. I don't know. For me, when I like, and I'll probably touch on this when I talk about Rod Brown's betrayal. But I never really put too much weight into I guess for lack of a better term, um, platonic, is that what they call it? Platonic friendships, like just friends just to be friends. I'm like, and I honestly think this is why a lot of people end up falling out with friends, is because they're friends just to be friends. So they have a lot of time on their hands and they start like, oh, this bothered me and that bothered me, and I'm mad at you about this, I'm mad at you about that, and stuff like that. For me, I'm like, it's gonna sound bad, but friends with benefits, right? But not in the way that you're thinking. Get your mind out of the gutter, right? Hopefully, Rod Brown didn't hear me say that. But when I'm talking about friends with benefits, it's like, what value are we bringing to each other? Is it value to just gossip and or what? Or are we trying to win together? Are we trying to run it up? What, like, is this person helping you grow? Is this person helping you achieve your goals? Are you helping that person grow? Are you challenging that person? Are you being annoying, like me, annoying people to success? Right? So what's you guys are messing me up. You guys are messing me up. But and for me, I'm always looking like, what value can I add into your life, and what value do you add into my life? And if it's just, we're just we're just, sitting on the porch staring at each other, not doing anything, then we're gonna have problems. And for me, I'm looking for growth, and that's why I say those who endure to the end, they will win. They will be successful. They will be rich. They'll be whatever it is that they want, as long as they put in the work day in and day out. And that is my icebreaker for tonight. If it doesn't make any sense, let me know and I will clarify in the chat and in the comments. Let's get it. All right. Let's get it. All right. So I'm going to check the chat one last time, and then we are going to get to our first working segment of the night. All right. Let's see. We got Miss Freckles in the building. What's up, Miss Freckles? How are you doing tonight? Because not Rod Brown's betrayal. Yes, Miss Freckles. Yes, Miss Freckles. Rod Brown's betrayal. I'm just messing around. What's up, Rod Brown? Rod Brown says, what did I do? Nothing. I'm just messing with you, my guy, Rod Brown. You'll see towards the end what I'm referring to, Rod Brown. You got to stay to the end to learn more about Rod Brown's betrayal. What's up, Miss Freckles? Miss Freckles says, how is everyone? I am doing phenomenal, Miss Freckles. How are you? Shout out to Miss Freckles' appearance on Monday night show of on Anton's channel. Shout out to Miss Freckles. Amazing performance, I must say. And Rod Brown says, I feel like I always joined at the wrong time. Nah, Rod Brown, you are, like Jarul and was it Jarul and Ashanti? Not always there when you call, but always on time. Shout out to my guy Rod Brown at The Nourishing Word. Wave Nurse says, get to the big bags together with AI. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Miss Freckles says, your mindset is the winner chicken dinner. Oh, I'm lucky I already had dinner, because if not, I would be having to end the stream right now to go get me some wings or something. All right. Shout out to Miss Freckles as always. Let's see. Miss Freckles says, thank you. You are very, very welcome. And Rod Brown said, you did a great job, Miss Freckles. She sure did. Rod Brown, a great job on a rowdy panel, I must say. But she got her input in there, so that was awesome. And Miss Freckles says, great post recently. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Rod Brown's betrayal. It's a play off the title of his video, But it was a really, really good video. I really, really appreciated it. Let me. I think it's bothering me. Give me a second. Let's go to make that a little bit darker. Where did it go? Oops. What? Give me a second. All right, there we go. Let's put that like. All right, there we go. All right. You guys know my OCD. I get like very, very particular about certain things. So sorry about that. A little distracted. Okay, so says Mr. says, thank you. I was nervous though. You did great. Like I think when it comes to nerves, like once you get started, the nerves are gonna go away. So that was an awesome job. So we really appreciate you going out there and representing. All right, let's continue on with the show. So let's get to. I sent it to my parent. That's funny. Let's start off with the show. All right. So I am going to put in our first 20 minutes of work.
It's time to do.
All right. So the goal for tonight is to write some tests for our application for our port scanner. We were working on it a little bit 2 weeks ago, but we had to pivot just because it was taking us more time trying to figure out how to do the input thing. But tonight I got time, right? We're going to dedicate our time to getting these unit tests. I want to talk about why testing is important. And then we're going to talk about mocking. Mocking is basically not necessarily having to have the virtual machines running with the ports open, we can say, all right, if you hit this port, then I want to get this response. So we're going to look into that as well. But let's start off with this. Why is testing important? So for a few different reasons, right? Number one, you want to make sure your application works. But the unit testing part is particularly important because if we were to, let's say we were to build this out into something big and we were to make changes to the code, we don't want to always have to go through a bunch of manual tests to make sure the changes that we did didn't break anything. We want it to be in a way that we can just execute our tests and we still have passing tests. If a test fails, we need to go back and see, why is it failing? Is it supposed to be failing based on the changes that we made, or did we break something? And another thing to keep in mind is when it comes to testing, if you have a robust application that's out there, production level application, and you make some changes, a lot of times you make a change that breaks something, it is going to cause havoc for like users out there in the field. So you have to make things backward compatible. So I want to write out these tests so that whenever as we build it, as we make changes, we run the test, then we can easily see, all right, this is still working, or nope, we broke something. Also, I'm going to push this to GitHub after we're done with it. And if someone wants to pick up on it, build upon it, whatever, they should have confidence that whatever changes that they made didn't break existing functionality by running the test and knowing that, all right, things are still working, right? So that is like the mentality, the reasoning on why testing is important, along with many other reasons, but that is the reason, like, I'm gonna give right now. So with that being said, I am going to open up PyCharm because we build this in Python, and that's what I spoke about when we first started this. Why learning to code is so important. Because why is learning to code important? Because you can create your own things, you can create your own software, you can create your own applications, and then you can use it for yourself. You can write your own automated scripts to help you and all of that stuff, right? So coding is one of the most important things that someone can learn because it gives you the freedom to build your own things as necessary, right? And then now with these AI agents that are coming out, you don't necessarily need to know how to code in order to use it, but imagine how much more dangerous you are if you do know how to code, right? Like, oh, you don't need to know how to code anymore. Yeah, but what if you do know? What if you do know? All right. Anyways, let's get into this project. So move this over here. All right. So let's go over to the screen. So this is our code, right? Our port scanner project. We tried to write some test cases for it, but we ran into, so all right. So we have a few tests here. Test a single IP in port. Test comma separated IP address in port. So this is the comma separated. Test range of IPs in a single port. We're also going to need some tests to test the range of ports, a mix of range of ports and IPs, all of that, right? But one of the issues that we ran into was because the scan multiple IP thing, because scan multiple IP takes in a input, we had some trouble getting that to work the right way. So let me start up a virtual machine for Metasploitable. Something that I'm gonna open up UTM, but something that we're gonna be doing is end up doing is do the, like, see if we can mock it so that we don't have to have a running virtual machine, right? So we can say, all right, if it's on this port, then this is the response that we should get. If it's on that port, this is the response that we should get. Things like that, right? So all of that is part of software development. All right, so I'm starting up the machine here. But while that's happening, I am going to look up, close some stuff down. All right, so Let's look up PyTest input. How to test a function with input call. I have a program. I have a console program with in Python. It asks you to using commands, some input. All right. So, what is this monkey patch? So you know what I'm thinking about doing? Actually, if I go back over here, and I just thought about this right now. Instead of having this outside of the function, right? Maybe I can just move this inside of the scan multiple IP address. And if we were to do that, we wouldn't have to input this here and this here. I'm thinking about that. But if I do move it in there, then I can't just use this standalone. So let me refine my search. Let me refine my search. I don't want this search anymore. PyTest PyTest input parameter PyTest Python file that takes input. Let's see what it says. So maybe we can say, so if name equals main. Let's see how we can change this up. Simulate user input. Let's see. So in order to do that, built-in inputs lambda to run this test. So what I'm thinking about doing is get user input, test input, example.get user input. So example has get user input, process input. If name equals main, user text equals get user input process. So we can change that to a main function. So let's try that. I'm gonna try that real quick. Instead of having because you can do this in Python like that, but it's more like of a script that way. But if we say define, let's see, get to scan, and we say return IP address of scan, which we could have just did. We could just do this. Could just do that. Save some code, and then here we say define port to get. Get port to scan. And we go with that. And in here, we say if name equals main, and we say IP address to scan is equal to get IP to scan. And we say port to scan equals get ports to scan. I do want to say get IP addresses to scan and get ports to scan. And we go with, and then we say scan multiple, and we pass this in here, and we pass that in here. All right. So just reworking. Oh, wait, return. All right. Just reworking this a little bit. And if I run this, run scanner, and it takes the IP. So far our code is still working. So let's do, let's see if our metasploitable is up. MSF admin, MSF admin, and IF config. Our IP address is 192.168.186.47. 192.168.86.47. Port to scan, let's go with 22. And it still works. So now that we have written our code the right way, right? Don't let people tell you there's no right way to write code. There is a right way to write code, and there's a wrong way to write code. What's up, Z Alfie over on the Twitch side of the game? Shout out to all of those on Twitch. I truly, truly appreciate you. And you know what? On the Twitch side of the game, I did not post this yet. Let me post this right now to all of those who are watching on Twitch. I am offering 30 days of access to the Tech Coach Ralph Patreon on me. So feel free to click on the link. I just dropped it in Twitch. It's already on YouTube. I just dropped it in Twitch. And boom. Sign up and let's have a conversation. All right. So anyways, let's continue. All right. So this is working as expected. So now we can more adequately try to test out our port scanner with the input. So let's do this. So now we're going to say, what do we have up here? We have, right. So from unit, so we have our unit import unit test. Guess we have to import PyTest. I'll import PyTest as well. Let's install PyTest. Yeah, we didn't have PyTest before. Let's install PyTest. PyTest is a testing framework for Python. Very, very popular and powerful testing framework. Let's see. Next up, let's go ahead and do. So we have our scanner being imported. We have our unit test mock import patch. So we have that. So we are going to do. Let's do. So we have our test scanner. So I guess we can add a test about. Let's make sure that the getting the IP address works, right? So define or def. Let's see, we say test process test accept IP addresses input, and we could say scanner dot get IP address to scan. No, that wouldn't work. Yeah, that's not what we want. Never mind. I was thinking of something else. We don't need that. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. I was thinking about because that function does not take input, so it doesn't even matter. All right, so here we're going to say What is this monkey patch thing? So let's say test single IP address and port. And I see they are passing a, why is that so? Oh, okay. So let's do a comma, monkey patch. And we're going to say monkey patch dot set attribute. And we're going to say built-ins. And after we do this, then I'll look it up to see what exactly all this is doing. But built-ins, I just want to see if it's going to work right, because if it's not, then why are we wasting our time? Lambda, and we're going to say we'll use this IP address right here, or we'll use 192.168.86.47, the one that we know that is open, and we'll say, how do I do 2? How would I do 2? So what I'm looking at over here is simulate user input using monkey patch. So what I want to do is 2 user inputs with monkey patch. Example.get user input, return value, test main with mocked input, example.main. Okay, so this would be test get user input. Oh, okay. Example. So this would be test get user input, and we make sure that that's the input, and then example.get user input, return value would be mocked input, and then okay, so that makes more sense. All right, so I got it. So now let's go ahead and modify. All right, so let's do. I'm just gonna copy this over and make some modifications. Look, we are learning this together. All right, we are learning this together. So let's say test get IP addresses. And we're going to say monkey patch, and then we're going to say built-in, and we're going to say 192.168.86.47. And we are going to say, get rid of this for now. And we would say assert scanner.get IP addresses to scan equals to 192.168.86.47. If we run that one, and let's see what the error message that we get. Missing one required argument, monkey patch. Itself. So let's try that again. Let's see. Missing, so test get IP address is missing one positional argument, monkey patch. What does that mean? Hold on, let me see. Get IP address to scan. I guess we don't need. Let me see if we get rid of this class. And we go to, oops. That's one of the things about Python with it not being.
Lunch break.
Without Python being super strict, you kind of can do different things all over the place. Let me run this again. Okay, so removing the self, that passed. All right, so we don't need to use the class at the end of the day. We can just have our tests in here. I'm sure there's a way that we could use the class, but I'm not going to kill myself over it because we're doing this in PyTest. So when we come back, we will go ahead and update these. We have monkey patch working, and we're gonna, so we know this function is working. We will go and write a couple of more tests for this function. Then we'll do for the port, and then we will do for passing them into the main function to make sure that the scanning is working. Then we'll look into the mocking opportunities. All right, but it is break time. Let's go to break. All right, we are making progress. So that is always amazing. I am going to check the chat, and then we will get to our first break time conversation. Let's see. Miss Freckles says that she sent it to her parents, her cameo on Anton Daniels' Monday Night Show. Rod Brown says, Mama Freckles and Papa saw my video. Oh, I my bad. I thought Miss Freckles was talking about her Monday night cameo. She's talking about Rod Brown's video. You know what, Miss Freckles? I have sent Rod Brown's video to my mother as well. Not the one from today, but some previous videos. And she was like, that is a smart, intelligent young man. I was like, what? Let's see. Mr. Echo says, there, here's a tissue. Rod Brown, okay, back to work. Rod Brown says, doing some scripting right now. Shout out to you, Rod Brown. Get to it. Let's get it, Rod Brown.
Let's get it.
We got Z Alfie in the building on the Twitch side of the game. Says, what's up? What's up to you, Z Alfie? Hopefully you are doing phenomenal. First time talking to you, but hopefully I get to talk to you a lot more. And Miss Freckles with the green smiley face. You know, they need to on this app or on this software, they need to be able to show all the emojis and not just the common ones, because I want to be able to see the face green smiling as well. And Rod Brown with the which one is that one? The teary-eyed, the teary-eyed face. All right. So let's jump into our first break time conversation for today. So let's do this. What can CIOs do with Amazon Q? Right. So I'm gonna put 5 minutes for this, right? But for those who have been with me for a very, very long time, back in November of 2023, as soon as AWS, Amazon Web Services, announced they were releasing Amazon Q, I just jumped on it right away to try to figure out what that was. And I set up most of it, but because I didn't have a fully fledged organization, I was not able to use it the way that I wanted to. But what Amazon Q is, it's a chatbot assistant for your business, for your organization. It kind of turns your organization into its own large language model. So you can connect it to your GitHub repo, you can connect it to your Slack, to your Microsoft Teams, to your if you use Confluence, to your Confluence, to probably your Google Docs, Google Drive, to your code. Like, pretty much you can connect it to anything, right? And what it does is it starts to learn about your business, your company, etc. So when you ask Amazon Q a question, it will look through that database of information and it will have an interaction with you, help you. I think they might have had like the Copilot, Amazon's version of Copilot in there. So many different things, right? It's truly remarkable, but I don't know what the adoption has been to it, because I do know a lot of companies, because they use GitHub so closely, they sign up for GitHub Copilot, but this Amazon Q was like it was like a 360 deal. It was like a 360 deal. I'm just saying. So it pretty much did everything, like just spent days or hours learning your organization. So when you ask a question, if you ask a question about something that might have been in Slack, it will find it in Slack for you, right? Really, really cool stuff. So, but I don't know what the adoption was to it, but there is this article about Amazon offering a glimpse of what CIOs, Chief Information Officers, can do with Amazon Q Business. So I want to read that with you guys. Let me zoom in on this. All right, so can I go one more? Yeah, let me see. Can you guys? Yep, there you go. So Amazon offers a glimpse of what CIOs can do with Amazon Q Business, the generative AI assistant for the enterprise, in conjunction with a range of AWS services. So yeah, with like if you use AWS and you log into AWS, it already has Amazon Q there, ready, willing, and able to assist you, right? But the Amazon Q for Business, it just integrates with your whole organization. So it says, with a range of AWS services, offers enterprises a range of task automation and customization possibilities, as evidenced by customers Zoom, HS Brands, and others. So I stand corrected. I guess the major companies, the heavy hitters, are already using it, all right? Which it makes sense that they would. It says Amazon Web Services gave IT leaders a real-world look at what enterprises are doing with its Amazon Q Business Generative AI Assistant, showcasing implementations from customers such as Zoom and HS Brands at an event last week in Boston. Boston? How do they say Boston? I don't know how they say Boston. What is the Boston accent? I just know that it might not be victory against the Knicks. It says among the use cases was the ability to make enterprise AI agents accessible to external services, which was piloted by the NFL during last month's draft, said Natalie Hirsch, senior worldwide specialist on the Amazon Q Business team. Amazon Q Business Workflow, which the company announced in December, was also highlighted as coming soon to help automate tasks, integrate with various business applications, and Hirsch intimated that Q Business may have an agentic capabilities in the future. Ms. Freckles, help me. These words are killing me here. All right. What we're hearing from customers is they want to automate more and more, she said. They want an agent-like experience that can help users save more time with those repetitive tasks, and a feature that is coming really soon is the ability to build workflows based on documentation or recordings. Wavener, you hear that, Wavener? Do you hear that? HS Brands to build on early Q business success. Mystery shopping service HS Brands Global is one of the companies deftly deploying AWS generative AI tools to enhance its service quality.
Get a move on. Back to work. Chop, chop. Let's go. Come on. Get a move on. Back to work. Back to work. Back to work.
Give me a second. Let me finish. This is a really, really important article, all right? Because this is the future of business, all right? It says, enhance its service quality, save time, and bag more clients in conjunction with Ironside Group. HS Brands, which spends roughly $250,000 on proofreading annually, partnered with Lexington, Mass-based analytics and AI consultancy Ironside Group to develop a replacement proofreading app using large language models and AI features in Amazon Q Business. Amazon Q introduced in November of 2023. I was one of the very, very first people to test drive Amazon Q. Once it got released to the public, I tried to implement it on my stuff. I have the video on this channel of me working through Amazon Q. I have the AWS bill that they wrongly billed me for setting up Amazon Q, which they did refund me kindly. So shout out to Amazon for that, for AWS for that. But I was one of the very, very first people to try out Amazon Q and Amazon AWS App Studio, right? Brings advanced generative AI technology to Amazon QuickSight business intelligence service for the cloud. Amazon also offers Q as a part of its Q developer coding assistant. The Las Vegas-based HS Brands, which measures customer experience and provides brand protection by evaluating roughly 50,000 shops or vendors annually, anticipates the Ironside Q solution will save the company more than 85% of its annual proofreading costs and identify more inconsistencies and errors than humans to improve the quality of its reporting and feedback, said HS Brands founder and CEO Tommy Mills. Mystery shopping is a fun little industry We're considering a piece of market research without really doing a lot of market research. We are the people that verify things, most explain. What is mystery shopping? Does anybody know what mystery shopping is? Is it like when would you consider mystery shopping when you say, you know what, I want to order these, like you send me random stuff in a box, and every month I get, is that like one of those subscription services, or what is mystery shopping? I don't know. Mills explained, we send somebody in acting as a customer, and then they report upon what they saw. We usually don't give a lot of opinions. We just say this is what happened, and then it's very statistical after that. Mills launched a web-based mystery shopping platform called Sassy, that's an interesting name, in 2005 and on AWS, and grew it into a global service provider in 12 countries. He later sold the platform and concentrates on delivering AI-driven analytics for real-time customer insight. Client Buffalo Wild Wings hired HS Brands to determine whether the quick service restaurant's burger sliders are built the same way in every location. Amazon Retail is another one of HS Brands' customers. Amazon hires us to go onto the site and order particular products from particular providers, have them shipped to people, and we're measuring everything during that process, Mills said. Does it arrive? Is the box in the condition it's supposed to be? As part of the evaluation process, HS Brands also takes photos, uploads them, and measures as many aspects of the product and service service deliverable. HS Brands client range from one pizza empire that wants to ensure its pepperoni slices are made with precisely 8.5 to 11 slices of meat, to big casinos that require a mystery shopper to spend 3 days documenting entire experience from shopping to eating to gambling to parking. Okay, so I guess that's what mystery shopping is, right? Mills said he turned to Ironside Group to apply advanced analytics to its Sassy platform. As part of the solution, data is moved into AWS QuickSight, which gives account managers of HS Brands customers a vast array of dashboards to view data collected. The solution reduces those account managers' time burden for analysis while improving the quality of HS Brands service, which not only helps its customers with their businesses, but helps HS Brands get paid faster, and grow their customer base. Let's see. HS Brands and Ironside work together to develop the Q business proofreading application. So basically, look at this. All right. So basically, what they're doing is they're using Amazon Q generative AI, AI agents to build a proofreading application that is going to reduce their time by 85%, which means they're able to do a lot more and save a lot more money and reduce the amount of human error. Let me see. I'll drop this link in the chat. This is a pretty long article, but this is really, so let's read the last paragraph, right? Zoom is currently piloting its custom AI companion with a large customer for incident management, vastly reducing the time for data entry. This is where the real work begins. What used to take a support engineer about 4 hours to do is automatically done once that meeting is wrapped. Belza says custom agents are coming soon. This is serious. This is serious stuff. Amazon Q offers more than 40 connectors that allows customers to integrate with many business applications. I tried that out in November of 2023. I was connecting to AWS. I was connecting to GitHub, or not AWS. I was connecting to GitHub. I was connecting to Slack. I was connecting to it was reading my website. It was doing a lot. All right. Another useful product is AWS Index, a data store used by AWS Resource Explorer to store data about all the company's AWS resources. Users can create an index in AWS region to launch AWS Resource Explorer. It's crazy stuff, right? I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. AWS Q use cases. And read it. This is very, very important, all right? This is groundbreaking stuff. Very important, all right? But let's get back to full screen. I'm going to check the chat one more time, and then we shall get back to work. All right. Let me see. Ms. Freckles says that is actually the heartfelt face. Oh, okay. That's why I need Ms. Freckles' assistant, because she knows all the lingo. She knows all the pronunciations. I'm just bad at this.
Bruh.
And Victor Williams Jr. says Boston. Is it Boston? I can't do it. I can't do it. Miss Freckles says the struggle bus is real. She is right about that. Right about that. Miss Freckles says, I'm leaving soon for Bible study. You enjoy Bible study, Miss Freckles. It is always, always, always a pleasure to have you here. And Mr. Chris says, I always wondered how to become a mystery shopper. That is a great question. I want to be a mystery. Actually, no, I don't. I don't want to be a mystery shopper, but I would recommend some people to being a mystery shopper if they do not have to use our own money to do it. All right. Let's see. Victor Williams says Boston. Okay, I think I got it out. Boston. Oh my goodness, you guys are terrible. You guys are terrible. All right. Let's go. Let's get to work. Let's get to our next segment of work. That was a good, very insightful article. Very, very insightful article. Ms. Freckles, though, if you aren't back by the time I talk about Rod Brown's betrayal, make sure you go to the end of the show later on tonight, tomorrow, so you can hear about Rod Brown's betrayal. I just like to say, I just have a good time. I just have fun saying that. All right. I'm sorry. I just have fun saying that. All right. Anyways, let's get back to work.
Let's go!
All right, so we have this passing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of this. We have this working. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do some simple. I don't think it's necessary to do this test, to be honest with you, because it's just going to it's just going to return to me exactly what I put in. So I'm not going to do this test, right? What I am going to do though, I'm going to do def test get ports, monkey patch. Learning, I did not know about monkey patch before, so definitely learning something new. Set attribute, we're going to say built-ins dot input. We're going to say lambda, and we're going to say 22 assert scanner dot get port to scan equals 22. So if we run this one, that should also pass. All right, perfect. So 2 lines. All right. So now that we get to this test single IP address and port, if we were to, so I'm going to have to reference the documentation. So here we're going to say test main with, it's not really a mocked input, but so example.get user input is going to be return value. I think I'm going to do another one, patch example.get port, and then that's going to be return value for 22. And then we're going to do scanner scan multiple IP addresses. And then we can assert, I'm not sure what we're asserting. Captured out. Captured equals capsys read out. Okay. So I think I see it. All right. So let's go. Let's give it a try. All right. So let's get rid of this code right here. All right. So let's start. Ooh, this one. All right. Let's start anew. All right. So we're gonna say monkey patch dot set attribute. And actually, no, we're going to say, I'm sorry, we're going to do patch, and we're going to say scanner dot, and we're going to say get IP address to scan. And we're going to say the value is going to be return value equals, and we're going to just do this right here, 192, 168, 86. Oops. Oh, come on. Let me move this down a little bit. And here we would say, so test single IP address and all right, so we're going to do another patch. Scanner dot get port to scan, comma, return value equals 22, right? And here we're going to say scanner dot scan multiple IP addresses. Oh no, not that. We're gonna do scanner.main. Scanner.main. What? Scanner.main. Is that right? Cannot reference main in scanner.py. Why? So let's look at this real quick. Why are you able to do it here, allegedly? Oh, maybe it's just, maybe you can't do main because it's just scanner, maybe? Let me see. Let's see. Statement has no effect. Let's see. Why are they able to do that, main? I'm just gonna type it in and see what happens. Let's run it, see what happens. It says that let me see. User input, process input. We have that here. If name equals main, then to do this, and if we were to do scanner, monkey patch, let's see here. Oh, wait a second. Hold on 1 second. So there is no monkey patch in here. It would be mock input capsys. Trying to, all right, let me see, mock input. And let's say print mock input. I just want to see what this is going to print out. So, nothing. Actually, all right, let's go and do this. Let me just say if we do print test, right? And that is not able to work because magic mock name get port to scan ID, magic mock get IP address to scan ID. Type take 0 arguments, but 2 are given. Okay, so if we say test 1, test 2, and we do print test 1, print test 2, run that. Ah, I see, says the blind man. So all I did was I put something here to get an error. So let me undo right quick. So you can just so you can see what I did. So when I ran this to see if this was going to get here, I got an error that said that this right here requires 2 positional arguments, but I'm not passing anything in. So that led me to understand that, see, it says right here, test single IP address and port takes 0 positional arguments, but 2 are given. These are the 2 that were given, right? So I had to go and say, all right, so I can say IP addresses here and ports here, right? And now I can say, just to test it out, IP addresses. Let's make this an F string real quick. And let's say this one, we make it ports. So when I run it, I have, it's not printing out the right thing, but you see where it says the IP addresses and the ports. So if we were to do, how do we get the return value? So how would we get the value? Let's see, capsys. Magic mock name, get port to scan. Let's see. All right, so let's do a quick little research. How to Python patch return value output. All right. When using patch in Python's unit test mock library, the return value of patch object is controlled by the return value attribute of the mock. By default, if return is not explicitly set, it defaults to a new mock instance. So we have our return value set. Mock external function. Mock internal function, directly patch value, results, function to test, mock external function. Main, so patch main external function, mock external function, results equals function to test. Function to test is a return external function, results direct. Why am I not getting that then? Results function to test. Let me try something else then. If I go to here and I say IP address equal, or what if I do let's say test IP address equals scanner dot. Let's see if I do that, and I do print. I'm just trying to see how this thing is working. So, okay, so here it prints, so it passes this one correctly. So my question is how, so this is working. But I need to pass this in here. What if I do that? So if I do that, so this right here is getting this. But if I call the function, in here, so that is confusing. That is confusing, I must say. Because if I'm looking at this documentation over here, it says result, so mock external function, mock x, so all right, in here mock external function dot, okay, so mock external function dot return value equals patched value. Here function to test. So looking at this one, function to test patch return value directly, mock external function. This mock external function is set to this result function to test. Result. That is weird. That is weird. Let's go with because we got Don in the building. What's up, Don? It says, what's your assertion? What are you testing? I don't have any assertions yet. I'm just trying to understand how this patch is working and mocking is working in this Python script. So basically I built a port scanner as part of the course, and I'm trying to write some test around it, but I'm trying to understand how this because I have some inputs where I can input the IP address or the range or the separated by comma, and I'm just trying to understand how this stuff works. Because if this is taking the IP address, but when I go in, oh, wait a second. Return value equals return value mock external function return. So why is my return value not working? Why is the... So I'm gonna go back over here. Let me see. I don't. Let's see here. Nope. I just want it seems like it should be pretty straightforward. So Python patch use return value. I don't know. Let's see. Let me see. I don't know. It seems like it should be, because I shouldn't have to do this line right here. It's setting it correctly, but I shouldn't have to do that. I should scanner IP address, scanner test IP address. Let me see. If I do that, I get the IP address, but that's because I'm mocking this right
Lunch
here.
break! Lunch break!
And it's getting the return value. But I can't. Let me see something real quick. Return value. Let's see something. No value, return value. Interesting. Interesting. I gotta do some more research. Anyways, let's go to break. I'm gonna figure this out. I will figure this out eventually. All right. Let me see. Let's see what we got in the chat, and then we'll go to our second break time conversation. Let's see. We got Don in the building. Don says, "My guy." What's up, Don? I've known Don for over a year and a half now. Shout out to Don, always doing amazing, remarkable work. Don, you know what, Don? I gotta reach out to you. I gotta reach out to you, Don, because the conversation that I had with Wave Nerd earlier today, I want to bring you into that conversation, Don. Let's see. It says, "What's your assertion? What are you testing?" I already answered that. It says, "Add me to the repo. I want to contribute." I haven't pushed it up to a repo yet. Honestly, this is like, I'll push it up to. I was gonna make it in a public repo, but it's just a very, very basic port scanner that I was like just using, like I was building based on the class. It says, "Another approach: ensure your scanner can parse all IPs and is defensive to invalid payloads and catches a return and return a good exception." That is very true. But yeah, this is really, honestly, Don, this is like kind of throwaway code, just so I could learn about the Python socket, learn how port scanning works, learn how to build a port scanner. But there are so many good softwares out there. But I'll push it up and I will definitely send it to you in case you want to do anything with it. But honestly, there's nothing remarkable about it, to be honest with you. All right. All right, let's do this. Let's get to our second break time conversation. Let's do it. We're going to be talking about why I stopped using AI for coding. When I say I don't mean me. I don't think I've ever really used AI for coding, and I mean, unless you consider like using Google's generative search thing. But I never really used AI for coding. I'm more of a figure it out, Stack Overflow type person. Even when we use AI for coding using Google's generative AI, we still have to do a lot of investigation, a lot of research, a lot of figuring things out. All right, so it's not as straightforward as you think. But this article talks about when they use AI and when they do not use AI. Right, so let's jump into it. I'm gonna throw up 5 minutes on the clock. Actually, I'm gonna get some water before I throw up my 5 minutes on the clock. All right, let's read together for 5 minutes. It says, when I use and when I don't use AI for coding. It says, AI helped me ship faster, but it didn't always allow me to ship better, faster, but crappier code. Over time, I learned to separate speed from clarity and to use AI with more intention, not more dependence. Very, very true. It says, I started using ChatGPT in late 2022, right after getting laid off. With no job, I had time, so I talked to it constantly. Some days I spent 5 to 6 hours experimenting. Ideas bounced back and forth. At first, everything felt smooth. Let me zoom in on this. Actually, this needs to be bigger. All right, there we go. At first, everything felt smooth. No red flags. After landing a new job at another startup, I integrated AI into my coding workflow. It felt like magic. Ooh, magic. Snippets, tests, and scaffolds appeared instantly. I called it my tireless junior developer. But a few weeks in, I noticed something was off. I was shipping more, but I was thinking less.
Bruh.
Worse, I felt so detached from the code base. I used AI to refactor code, build new features, generate controller logic, mock APIs, and especially write RSpec tests. We're using Ruby? It saved me hours. I enjoyed test-driven development, so I didn't want to outsource that part, but I had to admit the output was decent. Part of that came from my prompting skill. I spent months sharpening it during unemployment. On the surface, things looked efficient. PRs moved quickly. I felt productive, but the longer I use it, the more invisible cost started to show. Ooh, boy. So, problem one, fixing AI output took time. When I used AI to generate logic-heavy code, I often spent more time fixing it than writing it. That's not AI's fault. It's about knowing when to use it and where to trust my clarity instead. Even with multiple options, most suggestions weren't up to my quality bar.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Problem number two, and I think this is probably the biggest problem for most people. Well, I take that back. It's the biggest problem for most people who actually know what they're doing and how to think, right? This one hit harder. Yep, I called it. Critical thinking got slower. I realized I gradually handed over my problem-solving process to an assistant. It gave me the illusion that I don't have to think. I get paid to think. That is true. We get paid to think. We get paid to solve real problems, not to just be workhorses. We are paid for our brains. You know how they say? You know how they say, I want you to want me for my brain, for my mind, for my thoughts. That's what we're actually paid for as engineers. Not for the fact that we can know how to code, but the fact that we know how to solve tough issues. We are paid. They want us for us, not for what we can do, but just for who we are, for what comes here. All right, not what comes with our fingers, but what comes up here. All right, so that's the real reason why we get paid the big bucks. All right, is not to polish suggestions from a prediction engine. Problem number three, I became less patient. Yep. AI gave me instant answers and instant gratification. I started expecting instant progress. I've never been perfectly patient, but before AI, I at least respected the time it took to solve hard problems. With AI, I got frustrated faster.
I hate it here. I want to go home.
The illusion of speed trained my brain to expect shortcuts, and when the dopamine stopped, so did my tolerance for difficulty.
Bruh.
I hear you. I hear you. Real world consequences. When we use AI without thinking clearly, small problems pile up. Code looks like
Get a
suggestions.
move on, back to work, chop chop, let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work, back to work, back to work.
When I'm finished. When I'm finished. Code looks like suggestions, not real decisions. Debugging gets messy. Nobody fully understands what the code is doing. New teammates have to guess what is going on. You start to feel disconnected from the work. AI helps move fast, yes, but if you're not careful, it also helps you get lost faster. So far, this person has told no lies. What I do now, after another layoff, at the time of writing, I took a step back, not to quit AI, but to rebuild how I think with it. So instead of AI becoming replacing me, I decided to figure out how to work with AI. I went back to basics: pen, editor, whiteboard, tools that slow me down just enough to reconnect with the thinking process. I still use AI, just differently. Dummy data, JSON scaffolds, boiler test plate helpers. I'll throw in. I use AI for stuff that I don't care about, things that I don't want to do. So I don't want to spend a bunch of time building diagrams. So I'll have AI. I'll say I need a diagram about this, right? But when it comes to like my automation code, when it comes to writing code, I am not going to have AI write the code for me. I will use it and learn from it, but I will not have it do the work for me, right? But for the core architecture, debugging, and solving hard logic, I slow down and use my brain first. Use your brain first, right? Use your brain first. If I bring AI in, it's as a sparring partner, not as the driver. Final thoughts. AI isn't bad, but full dependence is. Google helped, Stack Overflow helped, social media helped, but overused, they made us distracted. AI just scales that effect. So now I ask myself, does this tool increase clarity or does it let me avoid thinking? Can I still solve this without help? Try going AI free for a week, not as a protest, but as a test. All right, so I'm going to say that I will not go AI free for a week because I need AI in my workflow for my content creation. For all the things that are not as important to me in that workflow, I use AI for that. I need AI for my assistant on calls because I like to be fully focused on calls. However, I do not use AI when I am actually writing code. I use Stack Overflow. If Google's AI assistant gives me some information, I'll read that first. But AI does not write code for me, not even boilerplate code at all. All right. It says, watch how your brain responds. Track how often you revise AI output versus your own. Is speed giving you clarity or just comfort? Tools will evolve, AI will stay, but clarity, that's on us. I've made these mistakes too. That's why I'm setting better boundaries, still improving, still figuring it out like everyone else. Great article, I must say. Let's go back to full screen to wrap up that conversation. All right, let me check the chat and then we will get back to our last segment of work. Let me see. Don said, this is how you vibe code from a tester perspective. Let me see. Let me pull that up. Can I pull that up? Let me see. Visit link. This was written by oh my goodness, come on. This was written by Don. Vibe coding with an intent, a tester's perspective. Click on the link in the chat, but I will read this on Sunday during our first week. I'm going to go through this on Sunday because time is running. We still have one more segment of work, but if Don writes it, I am reading it. So we will dedicate a segment to this on Sunday to read through it to see how Don vibe codes. It says not understanding how to prompt is also like not knowing how to code with advanced techniques. Let me get it.
Message.
That's a fact. But yeah, cool. So perfect. We'll read that article on Sunday that Don wrote. We are going to get back to one last segment of work. Don says it won editor choice 20,000 follows on that article. What? Is that right, Don? Is that right? Shout out to Don doing the work of the Lord. All right. Let's get back to one last segment of work.
It's time to do.
And I am trying to figure out this patch thing because let's take a look over here. If I say patch function mock external dot return value equals, so I'd have to add it within there. Return function to test. Results function to test. That seems weird. Let's see what the side effect thing is. A mock external side effect. This is so weird. Let me see. Python patch use return value in return value of function. Let's see. Unit to, all right, so function to patch, original value, test with patch, function to patch. So mock return value, patch value, assert. That's ridiculous though. Assert function to patch equals patch value. Function to mock. Assert function. All right, so this is kind of silly, but let's do this. So if we say function to mock, so if we don't have return value up here, and we're to take this off, why? And I see that they're using main here. Let's say we do main, and we were to say IP addresses and ports still stay the same, and we were to say IP addresses dot return value patch value. So if we said it equals that, and then we say print get. Why? Okay, yeah. Get this. Like unresolved. All right, let me comment these things out. So the error is, okay, so let me move this back to scanner, and let's run that. And this so this gives us the mock thing. So if we were to say, doesn't make sense. So this is being set to, so if I say this is as, oh, wait a second, return value 192.168.86.47. If I get rid of that, I run that. Oh, so although this isn't here, it's not using it? So it's not even using these. That is weird. That's weird to me. That, like, what is the purpose of these being passed as parameters if it's not even being used? But whatever. All right, so we say print scanner dot get port to scan. That should give us 22. If we go here, 22. Okay, I'll take it. So if we go to scanner dot scan multiple IP addresses, and we pass in scanner dot get IP address and scanner dot get port to scan, and we run that for now at least. There you go. So our test actually worked. Weirdly enough, but it worked. I don't like seeing these light gray functions, but if I remove it and I run it, it's going to tell me that is an error, right? Watch. See? So I need to have it there. However, if I don't, they say that they're not used. I don't know, whatever. For now, it's fine. I don't care. So now let's add let's add some variations of tests. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna copy this test right here. And we're gonna go to here. I'm just gonna take this name here. And I am going to take this right here and put it here. And leave this port 22. Gonna get rid of this test right here. So this test should actually do two, one on this port and do 47 or 23, and one over here, right? And they should both be trying to access port 22. Let's run this one. And we have it successful. It connected on port 47. It skipped the port 22. We do need to add some assertions on this, which I think we can do. Let me see. how could we, let's go over here, Python assert on print value or print output. Assert statement in print used to check the condition is true. Print output. See if that's possible. Because assertions will help us used to check if condition is true. While a search property used for debugging and testing, it can be. That's not the one that I want though. In the first example, that's not what I want. See, all right, this is what we want. CMD. So CMD process. Not exactly that. String.io. All right, let's see what it's string. You can easily capture standard output by temporarily redirecting sys st out to a string IO. But I could just do sys out. So let's try that. I wonder if I could just do sys out. So if we do guess we could do that. So if we go to here and we do import string IO, let's install that, I guess. No module for that. Let's see, sys. And let's go down here and we say print sys dot set out. Okay, that doesn't really say anything. Let's see. So std out equals captured output. Food test sys std out print captured output get value. There's a Python 3, so that was Python 2. Let's see. So IO. So let's try that captured output part. Okay. So if we're looking at this one, we will say let's say we do captured output equals io.string io, and then we say sys.std out equals captured output. I'm going to change the name of this variable because that is not proper Python naming convention. And we say Scatter. Okay. And then we do sys dot std out equals sys dot std out. Oops, double. Let's do that. And then print. See if this works first, and then we might be able to use that to validate, right? So so we do, oh, supposed to be showing this. We do, so let's try that. Captured F string captured, captured output dot get value. So let's see if we can get that to print. We do have it printing. So let's see if we can say assert IP address no. What? That's not right. Is it? Let me see. Hold on, that's not right. Why is that the captured output? Why are the captured IP addresses? That's not the right output. Captured output. Let me see something. If I move this over here, and let me try it one more time. IP. Okay, so that's already printing. But now I'm not getting anything printed of captured. Let me comment this out. Let me see. So, oh, I see. All right. I see what's happening. Okay. All right, let me see if we do last. Let's see if we do last value. What happens? The last value that was outputted. Let's move that back over here. Nothing. Interesting. 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 Okay. All right. Either way, whatever. We will worry about that part after. Let me finish. Let me write these tests out, and then the assertions we can figure that out next week, as well as mocking with additional type of mocking. So that is the, and then next week we can also turn on another VM, so we can have two that we're scanning. Let's go one more test where we will say 42, 47, and we'll keep it on port 22. And then here we will do, let's do 40, let's do 50. And then here we will do, get rid of that, run this one. and scanning through everything and still found 47. So this is working correctly. If we want to see it working correctly some more, we can go over to our code over here, and did I delete the code? Let me see.
Lunch break! Lunch break!
I might have removed the code last week when it can't connect to it. Successfully connected. Throw these in there real quick. Let's throw that in there real quick, and let's run the test one last time. Let's run this one. You can see what happens. So there you go. So our tests are running on every single IP, timed out, connecting, unable to connect, unable to connect, unable to connect, successfully connected. But part of our code is not to have that in there. So this is working properly. Now the thing is that we need to do two things. We need to do. We need to make sure that we can assert that. So we can probably just do a return statement instead of just a print statement. We could do a return here. Let's say we do. Yeah, we could just like pass this in there right there. And that would pretty much be it. Yeah, okay, let's add that real quick, right? So assert maybe something like that. We'll leave that for next week. I will leave that for next week. Let's do a to do enter assertions. So that's for next week. Assertions and mock IP addresses and ports so they don't require a running VM to run tests. All right. And this is going to be for May 22nd, 2025, right? So next week, we're going to be working on our assertions, and we're going to be working on mocking the IP addresses, right? But let's go back to full screen as we wrap up the show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me as I work through this code, trying to figure out this ethical hacking, this cybersecurity type stuff. Shout out to all of you guys. So final thoughts for today. I wonder if Rod Brown is still around so I can talk about his betrayal. All right, final thoughts. So Rod Brown's betrayal. So I was just saying that so that you guys can go check out his video today that he spoke about how he was stabbed in the back. He was stabbed in the back by somebody who he thought was very, very close to him. Turns out they were not. And I'm sure that we all have a story around that. But it did make me think that is like one of the reasons that I'm telling you, Rod Brown makes me, let me first and foremost, let me drop a link to that video because I do suggest that you guys go and watch it at the Nourishing Word. And it's going to be this one right here, copy link. So check out Rod Brown's Betrayal. Really good video, I must say. But yeah, it just reminds me of like why I am the way that I am.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
Very guarded, very to myself. Going back to the icebreaker of today's show of I like to rock with people who we can add mutual value into one another. I don't like lopsided or one-sided relationships because I think that I am in big favor of reciprocal tariffs. I add value to you and you add value to me, and we keep working and running it up together. And that's one of the reasons that I truly appreciate Rod Brown. I appreciate Don. I appreciate Wave Nerd. I appreciate all of you guys. Magnetar, because we're always looking to bring something to the table that is going to add value to each other, to grow, to just to be better, right? And always looking for opportunities, always looking for insight, all those things. So like when I was watching Rod Brown's video about his bestie, who actually I guess was his friend to me at the end of the day, right? It just reminded me like people come and people go. People come and people go, and that's why I don't put too much stock in people. Everything has its season, and you got to guard your heart. You got to guard your heart, and I think that's what a lot of my music talks about, is being careful with what you share and with who you share it, protecting yourself every single day, because a lot of times people have the opportunity, they will use it. All right. But yeah, definitely go watch this video, subscribe to this channel, show him some love, give him some feedback, share your story of your betrayal story, whether you were betrayed or you were the betrayer. But when I told Rod Brown, that's why I am the way that I am, he's like, I knew you would say that. That is true. It's true. But great video nonetheless. But yeah, also tomorrow we are premiering our next episode of the Bug Bite. I think we're on episode 20, or I guess we're 20 weeks into the year. Episode 20, we're going to be talking about a major education cybersecurity breach. All right, check it out. Let me check the chat one last time to see if there's anything else. Rod Brown is still here, but he is with the crying face. You guys go check out Rod Brown's The Nourishing Word channel. Amazing content. Amazing content creator, I must say. But yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna get out of here. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for your time, for you allowing me to add value into every last one of you. If you're watching this on replay, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. If you're watching on X, I appreciate you. If you're watching on Twitch, I also appreciate every last one of you.
I appreciate you.
But with that being said, it is time for me to get up and out of here. You guys have an amazing night. Techotrauf, we are out.
Fell from the clouds, felt the crash. High horse bucked me off the path. Smitten, lost, can't find my way. Below rock bottom, here I'll stand. I was riding, up on that horse. Thought I had it all, no doubts, no remorse. Fell hard, right down below, lower than rock bottom, where dreams don't go. shadows, can't find the light, wandering aimless through endless night. Should've been straight, should've, coulda, coulda, but I took the curve. Now I'm stuck in this mess with nerve. Broken wings, shattered dreams, echoes of laughter, now just screams, trying to climb back up the wall, but every step, it's a harder fall. Once high up in the sky so blue, now the ground's the only view. Regrets a heavy chain around my feet, dragging me down into this defeat. I look for answers in the dark, hoping to kindle a single spark, just a spark. But all I find is the cold and the pain, circling around like a never-ending chain. Gotta find a way to break free from this, reclaim the throne I start to miss. Claim the throne. Right now just lost in despair, grasping for hope. It's nowhere. Where do I go from here? I can't see through the fear. I'm lost, I'm scared, tangled up. I'm lost, trying to find my luck. Tired eyes looking for a sign, fractured heart cracked by time. Should've been straight, paid my dues. Now I'm haunted by the blues.